The voice. The premise for my memoir book I recently published, The Voice Behind You, came from so many people commenting about my voice. And I quickly mentioned to folks that it is a gift from God. But at the same time, I know in my heart I had to work at making it more effective in communicating to listeners. I spent much of my first radio station announcing experience trying to eliminate my natural Texas twang. Well, a textbook on the voice in broadcasting talks of the value of using your voice well. In a poll of news directors and production leaders, there was an emphasis on the importance of a well-trained voice. Here are some of their comments. One said, if you're going to make your living with your voice, you should learn to use your voice effectively. It's as basic as learning how to type. Another said, even the most brilliantly written and produced news story can be ruined by a poor delivery or an untrained voice. And another commented, the effect of a broadcaster's voice is immediate and overpowering. No amount of excellent writing or good on-air presence can compensate for a poor voice. If you lead or are part of a broadcast ministry, do you evaluate the voices on the air or on the podcast? Do you have the broadcasters check themselves? I often mention that in my 15 years in Christian radio, I would record my time on the air each morning. And almost every day, I would listen to at least a part of my presentation to see how I could improve it. Broadcast consultant Valerie Geller, who's helped our Media Alliance partners on several occasions, says that our voices need to be able to express emotion, tell stories, and draw in the listeners. Valerie goes on to say, nothing beats the authenticity of the human voice. It's the most powerful communication tool. What are some of the tips that will help announcers and speakers better utilize the voice God has given them? Well, here's some thoughts from voice coach Ann Utterback. She says, the best delivery sounds like a conversation with a good friend. I call it, she says, enlarged conversation because you should be a bit more careful with your articulation, but the general feel should be one of conversation. Utterback also emphasizes the importance of breath control, standing, breathing deeply, using the diaphragm, and speaking above your lowest voice pitch are all things that can help improve the quality of your voice and the overall communication process. And Utterback goes on to say, breathing is the energy for speech. Not having good breath support is like driving a car with watered-down gasoline. It won't take you very far. Jesus spoke on a hillside to thousands. He taught from a boat to the multitudes on the shore. Do you think he spoke clearly and distinctly? Do you think he used the best vocal production needed for his message? I think so, because what he had to say was important. What you say on radio, television, or on your podcast is also important. And often it's critical for the listener to understand the truth of your words and your message. So, take time and be sure you and those who are presenters in your ministry are using their best voice to communicate God's greatest news to our world today. Media Alliance International is a global ministry, and you can read about it on our website, medialliance.cc. And you can help us spread these video messages by liking, subscribing, and sharing them. Thanks, and God's best.